Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the recap and review of NCIS Season 11, Episode 8, 9, 17? 17? Rockin' Hard Place. And you also may be wondering, why are you wearing a coat in April? Well, it's supposed to snow tonight. For some reason. Just a little bitter. Little bitter. I was tanning 2 days ago. So we start out with these two Navy officers, and they're in the basement of this performance center, and one of the guys plays the guitar, and he kills it. Literally. To turn. So then after the theme song, we get a little plot cul-de-sac with Tony planning his father's wedding, and this episode has weddings, and babies, and no Ziva, and I'm now even more bitter. So close! Basically, Senior wants Junior to plan his wedding, and Junior's like, no, because now I can no longer plan my wedding with the woman that I love. What a shame. But I will help you pick out your napkins. That's what men do. Anywho, they find out that this dressing room belonged to Mannheim Gold, who was an 80s rock star. Woo. And then they're like, wow, this guy existed for 2 seconds in the 80s. Who would want to kill him? Turns out a lot of people. His manager, his agent, probably the guy he got food from in the McDonald's drive-thru 2 weeks ago. So, the brakes are pulled out on his car, and everyone's excited because now he can stage a comeback. Is this what it takes to have a comeback? Is this why Britney shaved her head? Who else had a somewhat successful comeback? Remember when NSYNC reunited for 4 seconds? Anyway, Tony is in charge of watching Mannheim, and it's beautiful. I think Tony is just so on point this episode. I've thrown so much shade at Tony this season because he deserved it. Well, whoever that is, that was not Tony half of this season. But this is so Tony, and I loved it. I felt like the writing for him was really good, and it was funny, but it was still sincere, and mature Tony, and still fun Tony. It was great. It was a great episode for Tony. As a matter of fact, I think it was a great episode for everyone. Except Jimmy and Brina. Look at them. Such a happy family with their baby. It would be a shame if something were to happen to them. Why would they do this to me? Oh God, why? So Jimmy is preparing for the baby to be born because the baby is due, and it's so exciting. And Gibbs is offering advice, and I want to. This is why I'm crying. Speaking of babies, Mannheim has one of those apparently, because they're at this bar and Mannheim's afraid to go on stage because he actually has this crippling stage fright, and it's all part of his comeback. And then they're like, yo, who's that guy at the bar? I think he's the one that's trying to kill you. And the guy's like, ah, and he runs, and he's like, I'm actually your son. And the results are in, and Mannheim, you are the father. What a week for Mannheim. He has a comeback, he has a son, he has a psychopathic stalker, maybe. Yay. Sometimes life surprises you. I mean, moving on. And then I loved this one scene to death because Jimmy found out that the mother went into labor, and he's clearing the room like it's on fire. And then DiNozzo finds out that Mannheim is having a party, and it's so cute. It was just a really beautiful moment that I think we need to appreciate more than we actually do. Agent Colgate other various toothpaste brands, lets Mannheim have a party, and then we get led to a shocking revelation that Mannheim switched rooms because his original room smelled like vomit. And just don't question it if it saves your life. Ugh, we go to the concert and Mannheim is like having trouble getting on stage, so Tony goes on, and I thought he was about to bust into a show number, and I got wildly excited, and I have to admit, I was a little disappointed that Tony did not perform for us, but season 12 has to save something, right? So they catch the guy, Tony doesn't perform a musical number, and Mannheim has a questionably successful comeback. Yay! And then Jimmy comes in and he's like, the bird mom kept the baby, which bothers me because in that one episode when he was like, oh, what can go wrong unless she decides to keep the baby? I hate that. Why did you do that? I thought that was a throwaway line and I thought it was oddly suspicious, but I decided to ignore it because why would you do this? Why? Why would you do this? It was almost kind of worth it because we get a really touching scene between Palmer and Gibbs that I've wanted for a long time because I feel like Gibbs is always super harsh on Palmer, and now he's like, baby, it's okay. I kind of yelling at him a little bit, but it's like family's worth fighting for, and like, just it was a pretty fantastic, remarkable scene. Well written, well acted, beautiful. I love it. I love it. So that was Rock in a Hard Place. I'm wondering what they're going to do with Tony's father's wedding because, once again, these little plot cul-de-sacs, bunnies, whatever you want to call them, these plot points that you think are not going to go anywhere, that are just like a bunch of throwaway plots, they come back up, apparently. I have a feeling that'll be something in the finale. Maybe, whenever there's wedding, maybe they just blow up the building. Who knows? That May Sweeps card came out, and some building is destroyed, and I feel like it's us. No, weddings, explosions, nothing happening for Tiva, so it's the classic May Sweeps card. That's all I have to say, and I will see you guys for the spoilers and theories for Crescent City Part Uno. Bye, guys.